Mr. Munir Bengal, respected participants, ladies and gentlemen. As we are talking today about China, so I recall a fable which has some inner meaning with the subject today which we are discussing. A little Chinese boy asked his father, "How much does it cost to get married, Dad?" And his father told him, "I don't know, I'm still paying." So, Balochistan has been the central point of dispute for the past imperial powers in the age of colonization for its strategic location, and in recent past it has been strategic for its economic resources. Every international power has been and even today is dependent on the above mentioned two factors for increasing their power in Balochistan in this region. China is also looking for, every international power has been and every today is dependent on this, and China also looking for such opportunities in the region to strengthen its economic and political influence. Unlike its major rival USA, it is not interfering in the politics to a large extent, but it is doing a lot to dominate the world in economic domain and has been successful so far. Beijing aims to create a new kind of globalization to refashion the global economy, drawing companies more tightly into China's orbit. China desires to materialize its One Belt, One Road dream in South Asia, and Pakistan was one of the first countries where China being its One Belt, One Road project under the framework of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which would connect China to Gwadar port in Balochistan. China is trying to shift its power from south to west in Arabian Sea and the Persian Gulf, for which she is making economic and strategic effort. The greatest option to fulfill its agenda is none than the Gwadar port. So it's trying its best to occupy it as soon as possible, whatever it costs for him. China spends $18 billion annually to import oil from Middle East, and its ships navigate 9,912 miles via Strait of Malacca. But the Kashgar-Gwadar route will reduce the total time to 1/3. If China passes half of its export through CPEC, it will have profit of $6 million daily. $6 million daily. Who has benefited the most from CPEC? Pakistan, Balochistan, or China? In November 2017, the upper house of Pakistan Parliament was informed by the Federal Minister for Ports and Shipping, Mir Hasil Bizanjo, that 91% of the revenue to be generated from the Gwadar port as part of CPEC would go to China. 91% would go to China. While the Gwadar Port Authority would be left with 9% share in the income for the next 40 years. This was disclosed after Senator expressed concern over the secrecy surrounding the CPEC long-term agreement. Balochistan will not get a single penny from the revenue because ports are a federal subjects. They are not included to Balochistan. The revenue of the ports will go to Islamabad. So Balochistan will get nothing. Most of the other CPEC projects are power generation and are expected to generate almost 10,000 megawatt of electricity. But again, Balochistan has not benefited from this. Gwadar port is epicenter of the whole CPEC project. Yet the residents of the city have hard time getting drinking water on daily basis. After the biggest investment of China, promises were made to Pakistan and especially Balochistan that the stream of milk and honey will flow in their land. But the truth is that China will not benefit Balochistan by its investment. It will use the land for strengthening its regional strategic dominance, minimize its trade cost, and to exploit its natural resources. The pseudo-communist regime is following the path of economic imperialism, foreshortening its trade route with the intention of high swift profit. It is ambitious to have commanding influence on the region and to conquer the world economically. The aim of the new capitalist is exploitation and plundering the wealth in the name of development. It is no more socialist-oriented economy. Balochistan is one of the vulnerable, rich and nearest country to feed the economic expansionism of China with its rich mineral resources, the strategic location in the part of pathway to help China to conquer the market of West. The access to the international water through Gwadar port could bluster China to extend its hegemony to the nations by ruling over the sea lands, and this can hardly be expected from the world to take no notice. There are various reasons why Baloch are opposed to CPEC. It would convert them into minorities in their own lands, with the influx of outsiders as a result of the project, and their identity are being threatened. The CPEC routes will not only provide means for carrying of goods and other materials, but it also launches a cultural invasion, transferring social customs, languages, and belief among the people of Balochistan. It is expected that around 1 million people will arrive and settle in Balochistan in the next few years. They may be justified in fearing this, for according to the report by the Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce, the number of Chinese citizens in the region will be greater than the Baloch by 2048. It is a known fact that Pakistan government is trying to change the demographic structure in Balochistan, and it's making use of CPEC as an opportunity to this end. People of Balochistan think that Balochistan natural resources belong to them rather than Pakistan, and that the Pakistan central government using Baloch resources as though owned by them and indeed plundering them. Islamabad is reaping all benefits, depriving the local Baloch from their legitimate share. Recently, Mr. Imran Niazi, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, said that Pakistan's foreign debts will be paid through the sale of reputed gold resources of Balochistan. Pakistan has opened up the resources of Balochistan for the use of China, and CPEC will exploit Balochistan, and they will lose all rights over their natural resources. Even some experts argue that not only Balochistan but also other regions through which CPEC passes will not benefit from it, as it is designed to bring profit just for China. The Baloch further claimed that they were not consulted about the CPEC. They have been completely excluded from the decision-making process regarding CPEC. However, this complaint, the decision-making process are not transparent and the Pakistan citizens have been excluded from the process is heard throughout the Pakistan, and it is not specific to Balochistan. Baloch also considers CPEC as a Chinese military project and are of view that China has contributed to the militarization of Balochistan. Latest report said that China is trying to set up a military base near Gwadar, create disturbances in the region. And according to the News International of Pakistan, English Daily, Pakistan deployed a total of 17,177 security personnel of Chinese national. In the years since Gwadar has become something of military cantonment. Locals traveling around Gwadar faces routine harassment and security checkpoints. As a result of security measures taken by CPEC, Pakistan's military representation in Balochistan has increased, and the region has become a military cantonment. Baloch are born a fighter, and any assault on their freedom and encroachment into their area of influence would be resisted hard. The day Balochistan rise in mass revolt, an event of Pakistan giving in too much to Beijing, there would be hell to pay to China. At the Gwadar project, it is also for the Chinese military purposes. This would be harmful for the international powers. Where 60% of world oil flow. The world has to take rapid action in curbing China's influence in Balochistan, in particular, and in the Pakistan in general. And we appeal to international community to help Balochistan defend itself from the Chinese colonization. Thank you very much.